In an old Paris zoo, not far from the Seine, Roger the Liger was dreaming again. If only I wasn't so wildly embarrassed, I'd love to go dancing all over Paris. Let's start with a jingle. That's a different song. Lena, that's a different song you were humming while you had the jingle. Oh. You did. You were doing the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys.
They were doing your jingle.
What is that song? Mama, getting real well known, but that doesn't mean I get around. That's what you think the jingle is.
Yeah.
And you've been on the show like 18 times in the last 21 episodes. Get out.
That's abysmal.
This obviously is the Eiffel Tower podcast. My name's Oliver G. This is my wife, Lina Norden G.
Hello.
Usually, it's not just me and her.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm here again.
No.
Pestering your earlobes.
This is earlobes, like an earring. This is a special episode, though, because we have big news. And I think a lot of you guys have seen this already, but I'll get it out of the way. We wrote another children's book, and it's called Roger the Liger. I wrote it, Lina illustrated it, and we launched it on Saturday night, which is 24 hours ago. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is exactly 24 hours ago at the time that we're recording.
Actually.
And so we're pretty tired recording this.
Yeah. Pretty tired, very, very excited and happy and just, thrilled with how it went.
And what we figured, we can talk a little bit about how it went and give some huge thank yous out, but we also want to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes on what goes into making a children's book about Paris, and to just sort of explain. I think it's cool that we could collaborate on a creative project. As to, I hate when people call people creatives, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
It's a weird word.
There's something gross about it.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah. Because I would never say we're too creative.
Is it like pretentious?
Yeah, but even if someone else said it, I'd be like, no, creative.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't. It's a weird noun. But we did something creative. We made this children's book, and we did. The idea is we self-published it. We put it on a website called Kickstarter for a week, and the idea is we hoped to raise enough to pay for the initial print run.
That's right.
And it was quite a modest goal. Like, we weren't trying to go crazy here. We put a 10,000 euro goal. Hoped that we'd reach it by the end of the week. Launched it on a live YouTube video, and strike me down with a feather. We reached the goal in 1 hour and 40 minutes. Yeah. It was insane. I still don't believe it. So firstly... It's crazy. So exciting. A huge thank you to everybody who watched the YouTube video, for everybody who pledged for a book. Yeah. The way it works is just pledges. No one's bought anything. Do you know that? Oh, yeah. Because you don't pay for anything until it succeeds. That's right. Because a lot of Kickstarter projects don't succeed. Maybe they're too ambitious. But anyway, thanks to everyone who's pledged. Of course, there's still books up for grabs. We'll talk about it at the end, how you can get your hands on one. Yeah. But as a creative in Paris... Stop it. Let's talk a little bit about this book, what it's about, and then the challenges that you had as an illustrator. And that you had as a writer. Yeah. So first, the story. Roger a Liger. Maybe, do you want to read a bit? I'd love to. May I? I think you should, and then we get into it. Which bit? We will get like a gist of. Okay, I'll give you, just a heads up though, we haven't sent it in to be printed yet. We will at the end of the week. Anything here could change. Yes. Anything. So here's where we're at now. I'll give you the intro again. I'll give you the first couple of lines. You know what we should do? We should read it together. Because we're going to do it. No, you can be Roger. Oh, okay. Yeah, because we're going to do events and it's going to be more fun like that. All right, let's practice this. Okay, here we go. In an old Paris zoo, not far from the Seine, Roger the Liger was dreaming again. If only I wasn't so wildly embarrassed, I'd love to go dancing all over Paris. Is that how you think he talks? Yes. Like a sort of British... Yes. Really? Aristocrat. Is that why he has the spectacles? Yes. Because that's... Okay, that was like spare of the moment. How about this one? If only I wasn't so wildly embarrassed, I'd love to go dancing all over Paris. No, keep him English. Yeah, okay. Keep him English. All right. You see, Roger had rhythm. Roger had grooves. He knew all the steps and he knew all the moves. When it came to the question of who's the best dancer, Roger the Liger is the only right answer.
Oh, how I'd love to go ruffle my fur and dance on the steps of the old Sacré-Cœur. Waltz for a while with movie star charm, the main entertainment around Notre Dame. Swing at Versailles.
Okay, that's enough. We don't want to tell everybody the whole book.
That's true. That's true. Yes.
So the idea is it's a very Paris-y book, and a few points to clear up here. When we did the live YouTube video, people kept asking, because they're tuning in later, the main question we got, why a liger?
Yeah. And first, Oliver, why a liger?
Well, the first I said, because I like ligers.
Yeah. And we said, like, why not? Sort of thing.
That's true.
But there's actually a reason.
And the real reason is, and I kind of want people to figure out messages in children's books for themselves, if there is one. But I really like, because ligers exist. Goodness me, we should have said that at the start.
Yes.
They're really rare and unusual animals. They're only bred they're bred often by accident, I think, in captivity.
Did we say that it's a mix between? Yeah.
A mix, in the video we did, a mix between a tiger and a lion. And really unusual. And I always thought it'd be interesting to do a story about a liger that's kind of bullied or embarrassed or ashamed.
Yeah.
And how he can overcome it and the importance of...
it's a very, this animal is a very good symbol.
If you want to read into it. At the same time, it's a silly story about a liger dancing.
Exactly. I think it's a really good thing that we didn't write anywhere this is a symbol or it means means this or that.
But I think if you... Anyway, I don't want to get into it, but there's more, I want to say that it's not just a silly little children's book, but it is as well. But anyway, he's afraid of going out. I'll read you another bit. I'll give you another taste. So he realizes it's only a dream that he goes dancing, and he says, but Roger knew well it was only a dream. If he roamed around Paris, people would scream, "Oh la la!" they would cry.
Run away, it's a tiger.
Or is it a lion?
I think it's a liger.
Isn't he strange?
Isn't he weird?
He looks like a tiger that's grown a big beard. You see, ligers exist, but it's rare that they do. If you saw one dancing, you'd probably scream too. Yeah.
Sound effect.
So you guys get the idea of the text. Roger's afraid. He wants to hang up his dancing boots
He's
forever.
Insecure.
Never going to dance again. Or is he? I don't want to reveal the rest. That's enough about the plot. Let's talk a little bit about your illustrations.
Okay.
A lot of French people when they see, because you had the cover of Kai the Crocodile was up on the window of the Red Wheelbarrow.
Yeah, that's right.
By Luxembourg Gardens for a while. She left it up for a while,
right?
Yeah,
a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's great.
We watched people go up and take pictures with it and stuff. Yeah. That was really cool. A lot of French people said to you that it reminded them of a French artist, Sempé.
Yeah.
Did you know from the beginning who he was, or did you learn?
Well, yeah, I did. I had heard about him and obviously seen some of his work. And it wasn't intentionally inspired by Sempé. It's just that I guess it's a similar sort of style. Yeah, it's a bit more. It's a bit more childish.
How would you describe it for the people at home in Listenerland who are driving through the cloudy streets of
Philadelphia?
Yeah, the streets of Philadelphia.
Sailing through the lakes of Sweden.
Yeah, how would you describe your style and maybe Sempé's style?
Well, the style is basically really quite simplistic, naivistic line drawings, ink line drawings, so black. And then what I do is that I sketch it out, I fill it in with a black line, and then I scan the image, and I'll add color in Photoshop. So it's really, really clean, quite 50s inspired.
People say that too. I noticed about Kylie. Yeah. I've pulled up the information about Sempé for people who want to learn something from our babble.
Yeah.
Because I can read from the internet. It's Wikipedia here. It says Jean-Jacques Sempé, born in 1932, usually just known as Sempé, a French cartoonist and creative, it says.
Stop it. No, it doesn't say
that. He's known for a series of children's books, poster-like illustrations, and it says a little bit further down that he did a lot of covers for the New Yorker magazine.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and Paris Match as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, his style is more simple.
He's still alive, by the way, 89.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. You should interview him.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Get a real cartoonist on the show. So people compare you to him.
It's nice.
Yeah, but French people say it. I don't know if he's so popular abroad.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I want to talk about one of your drawings. I think there's a fun story behind one of them. Without going too much into details, I want to take you guys at home behind a little bit of sort of Lina's process and how we, for better or worse, influence each other on it.
And build a book.
Yeah. I mean, like the short story that I've said a load of times before is I write it, you draw it, you usually add some things.
Yeah.
Like with Kylie the Crocodile, you just drew her in the Louvre or something. I was like, what's going on there? And you're like, I don't know. I had this idea that... I didn't even know if you had the idea. I think you just said...
I think I said I want to draw the Louvre or I want to draw the Eiffel Tower and I want to have a reason to draw it.
Yeah. So then I ended up making Kylie swim through the sewers at night and exploring
and
Paris.
It's interesting because we get inspired by each other. So maybe
that's
like
right.
I read your text and then I see like a different internal picture as to what you had.
That's exactly what happens with me.
Yeah.
When I see your drawings, I go,
you see
oh, no,
something
this doesn't
else.
match the text.
Yeah, you see something else.
Yeah, so that's how it improves, I think.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like a tennis match.
Yeah. A lot of love. But
Cute.
Kylie went a lot quicker than Roger because Roger, full story behind Roger the Liger is I had the idea on a flight to Sweden about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, dancing Liger, let's do it. And
of course.
And I wrote I wonder where it came from.
Yeah,
I wrote
think
it
you're
on
hallucinating. low, what do you call it? Oxygen?
high altitude. I wrote it on a sick bag, a vomit bag, remember?
There you go.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I do
I
remember.
wrote it on the vomit bag, we got there and I read it to your parents. And they were like, well, Oliver, that is something.
They're like, yeah.
What is a liger? We like it very much, but the liger, what? And then.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Long story short, someone wanted to publish it for us. They said it'd take a long time and we might end up losing money on it. And we were like, no, forget it. They said it'd take 2 years.
Yeah, it was basically very uninspiring.
So in the end, we did a new book first,
Kylie,
and that was success. I think we can say that.
Yeah.
And now,
sure.
Had we said that the Kickstarter goal? Do I say that we reached the goal? Yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
Sitting and looking at it now, it's at 150%. By the way.
What?
Yeah, crazy. You guys are so quick and supportive. I love it. Specifically, I wanted to talk about one of the drawings that caused the stir. Speaking of our creative process. Is
tell me more.
I had written that Roger went around Paris in this extended dream sequence.
Yeah.
And in it, I really wanted him to go to places that weren't just the Notre Dame and
not just pretty Paris.
Eiffel Tower. I wanted him to go elsewhere, and I sent him into the catacombs.
Love it.
Yeah. So you drew it. Why don't you take over from there?
Okay, so I drew it, and first because the sentence was something like boogie by bones on the catacomb wall, something like that. And I was like, okay, so I saw this picture of Roger dancing in a tunnel.
Does everyone know what the catacombs are? Do we need to explain that?
But you go ahead.
Okay, bones.
Why not?
Lots of bones.
Lots of bones underneath Paris.
6 million dead Parisians.
Really dark, really like a little bit creepy.
Yeah. It's a tourist attraction,
exciting,
but a weird one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So a bit off grid. So I saw him, really quite simple, just a liger dancing in one of the small tunnels, like full of bones and skulls and stuff around him. So I started doing that, and then it was quite intense. There was lots of like scary skull faces sort of staring from the wall, and I was like, "Ooh, this is like intense for children." So I added him dancing together with a like happy skeleton, and I was like, "Oh, maybe this is weird. Like, what do you think, Oliver?" And I showed it to you, and you're like, it's intense.
Yeah, and I remember, and I was like, I don't know if we can get away, like, because you feel it's weird because I know there are lots of children's books about skeletons and stuff.
Oh yeah, and some of the Astrid Lindgren, the Pippi Longstocking author, some of her stuff was pretty dark.
Can you give the listeners a lesson on how to pronounce Astrid Lindgren?
Astrid Lindgren.
Astrid Lindgren.
Astrid Lindgren.
Yeah, there you go. Pippi Longstocking. How do you say Pippi Longstocking?
Pippi Longstrump.
There you go. And so I looked at it, I was like, I don't know about that, especially because he's dancing with bones. Is that weird? Yeah. And we didn't know.
We're like, are we stepping on on,
sacred ground.
Yeah,
And
well,
then,
I guess in a way.
Yeah.
But there's a way around it, and it is Paris. It's a part of Paris, and it's
not like he was licking a gravestone.
No. And
so it's basically Lena.
But what I did, I toned it way down.
Yeah.
So I erased a lot of the skulls and the faces to make it less scary and just kind of there in the background, more of like round symbols in the background.
The funny thing is,
I kept the skeleton. He's dancing with the skeleton.
But the skeleton's very happy. Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what I was amazed by? I deeply amazed.
Yeah.
Not just that you can draw the whole book and everything, whatever. We all know that's amazing. But you drew the skeleton dancing with a liger, and I said to you, I was sort of looking at it, I was like, did you Google skeletons, image search, or dancing skeletons to know how to do that? And you were very nonchalantly like, no, I just did it. And I can't fathom that a human can draw a skeleton dancing with a liger from the top of their head. I can't fathom it. For me, it's impossible.
It doesn't exist. I used my imagination.
It's amazing.
I saw it.
It's amazing.
The hand knew what to do. I don't know.
Someone might write in and say there's not enough bones or something like that. But anyway,
sure.
The point is, like, there was some interesting things with this one that made us think twice. But what was funny is when we showed the sketches to people, a lot of people were like, that's my favorite one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Without us saying without us asking about like, what do you think about this one, or like singling it out. It's quite interesting. But we also did show it to a good friend, Amber.
Yes. Friend of the show, Amber.
Yeah. Hey, Amber.
Hey, Amber.
And she mentioned, she was like, this is quite interesting, and it will not be shocking in the French children book scene. Because she said, so she has children who are half French, and she reads them, or maybe their dad reads some French books. Like, they are aggressively dark sometimes. Like, really dark.
Yeah, like as in the character, like, I can't remember exactly what she said.
Like the little character, like the little kid in the book dies.
Yeah, dies on the first page, and it's
and they have a funeral.
Yeah.
And it's like they go and meet death.
Yeah, she one was like the A to Z of... was it anger?
Of anger, yeah.
A to Z of colère, like anger, and it was like it was like B is for bitter, and it was things like just and it's for young children, but very beautiful. Anyway, so we weren't so worried about that, and in the end, it was a cool lesson.
If you compare it, the dancing skeleton is very light. All right, so maybe enough about the illustrations. Did you have some challenges about the text? What was your... I hate this question. What was your process?
Oh, why do you hate that question?
Because it's so hard to...
Do you think it's lazy?
To answer. I don't know. It's just hard to answer it.
I think...
maybe it's because I don't have a process.
yeah, you don't look up skeletons. Something that was fun, but that I enjoy a lot, was I tried to be a bit cheeky. I don't know if I did this in Kylie, but I tried to rhyme French words with English words, especially place names. And French and English are very different languages. A lot of it doesn't rhyme.
Yeah, right.
But so, like, ruffle my fur at Sacré-Cœur, use all my charm at Notre Dame.
Yeah. And how will that work? I mean, with the different English accents.
Well, that's the thing, and that's why it's a challenge. Is we didn't know if, like in America and Canada, I know they say Notre Dame for the university.
Right. Yeah.
So there's little things like if you put Notre Dame on the first rhyme, knowing that some people will read it like, oh, if I went down to Notre Dame and walked around using all my charm, they'd turn to each other and be like, that didn't rhyme.
Yeah.
So like these little things you think about when you write it, you put this sort of
emphasis
on the punchline almost on the second part of each couplet, for example.
It's like writing music.
Yeah, I've got no musical skill whatsoever, but for this, maybe there's something like writing lyrics to it.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, to be honest. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, there's something, I put a lot of thought and effort into it, because I think a lot of children's books that I've read, I can see that they take shortcuts and they don't think about the meter of it, the ba-da-boom, 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 or whatever, the rhythm. Yeah. And as the reader, you have to figure it out. But the goal with this was to make it, same with Kylie, in a way that even an idiot can read.
That you can't fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, I think it's really interesting this with like rhyming different languages together. It's you can't be lazy. Like there's no way you can look up like pre-existing rhymes and just take it.
Yeah, I thought about that when I was learning Swedish, because in Swedish there's 3 extra alphabet letters. And there you go. And they say that we can't, English speakers can't say them because we don't have those sounds. But if you say them again, I tried to figure rhymes with them to sort of disprove it. So what was one of them?
So or?
Or is kind of like for. I don't know.
For?
I don't know who I'm doing this for.
Yeah.
For, right? Almost.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What's the other one?
Air.
Air, is it like air, like Paris on air?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
And then the other one is like fur.
Fur.
The sound of fur.
Yeah.
You know, like, so we kind of have them, but all those letters, guys at home who don't speak Swedish, they have like little dots on them and umlauts and stuff. So you look at you and what the heck's going on here? But we got them. We just don't put letters on them. Anyway, enough about that. There are loads of other Paris scenes that we haven't even mentioned yet, and there's a bit of a sort of twist to where the story goes. And the other thing about the book that I want to give a shout out to is there's a lot of hidden games in it.
Yes.
There's characters from previous books, past books, future books, characters from like our lives.
Yes, that.
Famous faces.
Do you want to give one away?
Which one?
I don't know, up to you.
No, I don't.
Really?
I think because we gave some away already. There's little games too, which I don't even know if we're going to put in the back of the book. Like, I won't spoil anything, but let's just imagine...
I've sneaked in little things.
Yeah, like imagine
hidden
baguettes.
in plain sight.
Like a baguette hidden.
Yeah.
And like there's 10 of them.
Yeah.
We're not even going to tell you. Just good luck if you can find it. Every time we've done this in the
I'm
past.
really interested to see if people are going to find it.
Should we do a emoji thing for the end of this episode for the commenters?
Oh, baked goods?
Yeah. No. We'll think about something more clever by the end of the episode. I want to tell people how they can get their hands on the book and the events that are coming up. And then I want to end on an email that I received. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so to get this book, if you want to buy a copy of it, the website's really easy. theeiffeltower.com/Roger.
And that is ROGER.
That would have been difficult for me to do last week because the R button on my computer broke for 4 days.
It was weird.
Yeah, it worked, but you didn't, like, no R popped up. So I was writing the script for Roger. I kept looking up, it was Og. And my own name became Olive. It was horrible.
Olive.
But
cute.
theeiffeltower.com/Roger. I'll give you the sort of 30-second pitch on how it works. We started off with doing very limited editions. We did like signed books. We did this really cool thing. There's no point going on about it now, but we did. You could get your name printed in the book at the back. Lina drew a bookionist stand. You know,
so you can be on your very own book.
Yeah, so the spines of the books at the bookionist could have John Smith, if that's your name out there. But I'm afraid you need to be quick. You need to be there at the launch because they all sold out.
Yeah, that went
super quick.
Like
yeah.
an hour?
They were gone.
Yeah.
So like that'll be cool. Maybe for the next book, you guys, if you like the sound of all this.
Do you think there will be a next book?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Is this the beginning of a little series? Paris series?
It already is with 2, isn't it? But there's still copies of the book to get. And the reason that if you can get it now and not wait is because all the funds that we make will go into the first print run. And that's when we'll make a profit, is if we can print more books to sell. So everything from Kickstarter just goes into printing books and sending them out. And the way it's worked for Kylie is
realizing the project.
Exactly, is making it happen. So don't delay, like don't wait for it to show up elsewhere. theeiffeltower.com/Roger. And you can also chuck in Kylie for only half price as an extra.
A little deal.
Yeah, as my little way of, I don't know, thanking people for supporting.
Yeah, that is cool.
So go and check that out. It'll be in the display below. It's a pledge. The book is going to happen, so you'll get charged for it on Sunday. So it'll just sit there as a pledge and you get charged for it. Please check it out. And then events.
Yes.
So
I'm excited about that.
This was crazy, by the way. We went into it used to be called W.H. Smith on Rue de Rivoli. Now it's called Smith and Sons. It might be Smith and Son. I don't know how many boys he had.
I don't know. Yeah.
And we went in and we told them they've been stocking Kylie and they've got it on their bestseller wall. And we went into the head of the children's department and we said, we've got a new book. And did we even tell her what it was about? Do you remember?
No, it was only after.
Right.
Yeah, no, it was afterwards.
And because she loves it. I think she said it was like senpai as well, Kylie.
Yeah.
And then we said, she goes, okay, I want to do an event for the next book. I want to do an event. And we said, we'd love to. And then she said, she goes, I want to order 60 copies. And we were
like, okay.
We were super professional about it, and we were like, 60 copies, yeah, that should be good for an event. Yep. She goes, October 23rd. Yep. She goes, maybe we can do a window display. Yeah, cool.
No problem.
She goes, what's the story about? We're like, oh yeah, Roger the Liger, of course. It's and she goes, yeah, good. And then we walked out and we just laughed.
We looked at each other. We were like, oh my god,
we better finish this book.
Oh my god.
we better finish this book and see if we can get it
We
funded.
better make it happen.
Yeah. I think it'd be.
So that was exciting.
It'd be easy to ask for forgiveness than permission in that sense.
Yeah.
Is that the right way to use that phrase?
I mean,
anyway,
sure,
if you're here on 23rd of October, we'll be doing a signing and a reading. If
at
the books
Smith
can be printed in time.
X amount of sons.
Yeah. And then Penelope from the Red Wheelbarrow, friends of the show, they're organising an event as well. It will be late October. I can't tell you when because it's not decided.
Oh, this is going to be so fun.
I know, and think that I did 3 books in the past year and a half. Never done an in-person event.
Yeah.
Because of everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
So we're
extra fun.
super pumped to meet a lot of you guys too. I think a lot of new listeners to this show and followers. I mean, of course there are.
Yeah.
Since the first lockdown started in Paris. So we're pumped. We're going to bring our best version of ourselves. Which is, who knows what that means these days.
I don't know.
It means we'll
I'm
leave the
excited
baby
to meet
at
them.
Usually now's where I'd read an email, and there's been a couple really good ones, but we're running out of time. So I'll have to do that next time.
Okay.
But emojis.
Yes.
This emoji idea.
Yes. I'm ready.
So do you want to choose what we do?
Sure.
Okay, so while you have a think about what we do, I'll explain the rules.
Okay.
The rules of the game, and I think people know already what's going on here. It's sort of as our way of seeing who listens to the show, sort of as your way as a listener of giving us a little wink, is we're going to post on social media, on Instagram, a post each to go out with this episode.
Yep.
So the post will probably be Monday evening, night. It'll be something fairly Roger the Liger related. It might be a picture of the two of us, but there'll be text promoting this podcast episode. Mm-hmm. And what we want you guys to do is to do a comment featuring the emoji Lina's about to say in a clever way. So the last one we did was food.
Yeah.
And
so it's things like a bowl of soup.
Yeah.
Which was like super excited to blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and some people will message me and go, I don't understand how it works. We don't understand how it works. But the idea is you get a soup bowl and that says soup. So you write soup
Yeah, exactly.
You don't write
without
the word
writing.
S-O-U-P. Some people were extremely creative.
I know. Some real
one that I
gems in
really
there.
liked was like, I liked this from my head, tomatoes. And they just put like 3 tomatoes there. Tomatoes. And things like
it doesn't
that.
really... It works for a Brit.
Yeah, it doesn't work for everybody. But that's why it was so fun. Some of them were exceedingly clever.
Good.
So thanks,
Good
guys.
for you creatives out there.
Oh, goodness me. What are we going to do for this week's emoji?
So, in honor of Roger the Liger,
Yep.
I think we should go with animals.
Uh-huh. That's a good one. Have we done that before?
Right? Probably.
Yeah. Okay, and we'll do it. This is what we'll do. We'll do it on the Eiffel Tower, which is the show's Instagram page. And as a thank you, Lina, for being on the show, are you going to post about it as well?
Yeah, I'll do a post.
So do one on Lina's as well.
Parisian postcards.
Parisian postcards.
That's me.
And the whole point is that the people who don't listen to the show but follow on Instagram and leave comments, they'll write something, like Jenny Smith in Minnesota. She'll write...
Hi.
Yeah, she'll write, hi.
Miss Paris.
Yeah, I miss Paris. And everyone else will be writing, like, pictures of otters and cowboys? Horses, cows. And being clever. Like, I'm utterly impressed with your work, for example.
Okay, what have I got? Oh yeah, quit horsing around.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but
so
better,
guys, we'll leave it over
please.
to you. Try and make us laugh. I read through all the comments and I sit there giggling like a madman. The Eiffel Tower and Parisian postcards, and I'm going to leave you on this. theeiffeltower.com/Roger. Get a book for a friend, get a Christmas present. It's going to be out in October, November, absolutely latest November. Thanks for listening, Lina. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks
for being my wife. Thanks for being a fellow creative in Paris. Any last words?
Yes. Merci et au revoir.